Hey folks, and welcome to another video of mine. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at Cyberpunk 2077 both on the PlayStation 4 Pro and on the Xbox Series S. Now this is patch 1.31 and it actually gets a lot of things fixed. To start off with, it fixes some of the visual bugs that were there in the previous versions. It definitely fixes an issue where roads after rain did not look wet. Well, apart from that, there were a few missions. For instance, a mission titled "With a Little Help from My Friends," where one of the characters, Carol, was missing a tablet or sitting in the air during a scene. And there are overall some improvements in terms of the gameplay, and there is a console-specific improvement as well, where on the PlayStation consoles there is GPU memory optimization as well. So let's quickly take a look at this comparison, where we are comparing both the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox Series S side by side. And as you can see, it is raining. The roads are definitely wet, whether it's the PlayStation 4 Pro or whether it's the Xbox Series S. Now, the one thing that I will mention here is that the reflection on the road when the roads are wet and the overall lighting looks comparatively better on the Xbox Series S. Now, that's been my experience. And while I was playing it on my consoles and on my television, a 4K television, I personally felt that the Xbox Series S definitely looked better. Another example is, if you take a look at that word, I think it's Ming or Mink in the background, it looks much sharper on the Xbox Series S. Even the grill looks much sharper. Now the effects, the fire effects, as you can see, the smoke, the light that's there, everything looks comparatively better on the Xbox Series S, and I was really surprised. Now here as well, the lighting, I think it's really saturated on the PlayStation 4 Pro, whereas on the Xbox Series S it looks very balanced. So the colors straight out of the box, they are much more balanced. It looks much more natural on the Xbox Series S, and it gives you that very cinematic kind of a color experience on the Xbox Series S. Now please note, I haven't done any sort of color grading on this video. The footage is straight out of my PlayStation 4 Pro and straight out of the Xbox Series S, so there has been no color grading whatsoever. So whatever you see is what you get basically while you're playing the game as well. Now overall, if you look at the smoothness of the gameplay, if you look at even the dashboard, for instance, if you take a look at the dashboard, the character Jackie here, boy does it look sharp on the Xbox Series S, and really good. Now this particular scene, take a look at the PlayStation 4 Pro and notice how the textures have not really come up on the PlayStation 4 Pro. It was struggling with this particular character here, but on the Xbox Series S, boy, it was a breeze. I also want you to take a note at or look at the gym on the right hand side. There are more characters on the Xbox Series S compared to the PlayStation 4 Pro. The PlayStation 4 Pro had nobody working out at the gym. None. No characters at all. That brings me to the issue of NPCs or non-playable characters. The Xbox Series S definitely had more NPCs compared to the PlayStation 4 Pro, and we're going to take a look at that in a little more detail now. But overall, I would say, from the lighting, when I say lighting, it's the lights that you see on screen apart from the overall lighting. So light bouncing off materials, objects, characters, even the road. Somehow it looks more better, or I'm sorry, somehow it looks better on the Xbox Series S. The PlayStation just blows up everything. I mean, everything is so much more saturated on the PlayStation 4 Pro. I don't know why. Some people might like that. I personally don't. What it also does, it really crushes the details in the shadows in a bad way, because there are hardly any details in the shadows. The contrast is too much, whereas on the Xbox Series S, there is a lot more detail even in darker areas, so the shadows do not lose the detailing, rather it retains them. Let's quickly sprint across so that you get an idea of the frame rate. Now, both the consoles did really well, I would say. In terms of the frame drops, I didn't really experience any major frame drops on both the consoles, but the Xbox Series S definitely looked more smoother. I'm not sure if it's because of the way that the console works or what, but it definitely felt a little more smoother overall. But I think both the consoles did a very good job when it comes to the frame rates. No frame drops whatsoever. The PlayStation, well, it might be a little behind because in some areas I think it did drop a frame or two. Nothing major, nothing that is a cause for concern. This definitely is a much stabler version when it comes to this game. The Xbox Series S, however, well, buttery smooth, no frame drops whatsoever, and this little beast of a machine really outclassed PlayStation 4 Pro in this department. Now take a look at the arrow on screen, the red arrow, and you would notice I was talking about the NPCs, right? Now the PlayStation 4 Pro looks barren. This is Night City. It's supposed to be hustling and bustling with life, full of people. But on the PlayStation 4 Pro, you do not have a lot of people in the background. But take a look at Xbox Series S. It has so many more NPCs on screen compared to the PlayStation 4 Pro. And I'm surprised because the PlayStation 4 Pro technically, well, it is capable of dishing out checkerboard 4K. And compared to the Xbox Series S, well, the Xbox Series S, it does perform at 4K, again, upscale 4K in some games. But the PlayStation 4 Pro is not a very bad device. I mean, it's a pretty capable device. But here, graphically speaking, the visual fidelity wise, the Xbox Series S is doing a comparatively better job. Even look at Jackie's jacket. Jackie's jacket. Good one there. There's a lot more detail, especially the way light bounces off of it. And again, this is not a current gen version of the game. Not on the PlayStation 5, not on the Xbox Series S, not on the Xbox Series X. In fact, the Series S, Series X, and even the PlayStation 5 for that are all playing the backwards compatible version of this game. So I am curious to find out what CD Projekt Red actually does when it releases the current gen versions of the game, and they have committed to releasing it sometime next year. So that'd be interesting. But given the fact that this is running the backwards compatible version, well, I am actually surprised that the Xbox Series S comparatively looks better. So there's nothing different. It's the same version because it's the same PlayStation 4 version or the Xbox One version. Well, the Xbox One X definitely, even had a special edition console, a Cyberpunk version of the console. So it might be that Microsoft and CD Projekt Red, they did something special maybe. I don't know. I mean, do let me know in the comment section what you feel when you are taking a look at this footage side by side. It does make a difference. Well, if you only played on the PlayStation 4 Pro, well, you may not notice the difference because, hey, you have not played both versions of the game. But when you do get that taste, the taste of blood, as one may call it, and if you have played it on the Xbox Series X or S, you would definitely understand where I'm coming from. Now, let me know your thoughts as well in the comments section as to what you feel. Which version do you think looks better, the Series S or the PlayStation 4 Pro out here? Let me know about the color preferences as well. Now, that is, of course, subjective, but I would be very interested to find out what your thoughts are. So, comment below, guys, and we can chat in the comments section as well. Now, apart from that, I do make videos on gameplays like this on the Xbox Series S. So if you like this type of content, then please go ahead and share it with your friends, with your family members, and also hit that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. Now, coming back to this place here, again, take a look at the amount of NPCs on screen, and that makes a difference. That definitely does. For instance, on the PlayStation 4 Pro, there's only one pole dancer. That's it, just one. But on the Xbox Series S, there are two pole dancers, and there are two girls right outside talking about them. So definitely way more non-playable characters on screen. And for a game like this, it makes a difference. It definitely does make a difference. Now, if it doesn't, then let me know why. But I personally feel that, this game, it adds more life by adding those NPCs. And even this back alley on the PlayStation 4 Pro, look, there's only one cat there, no girls. But on the Xbox Series S, it has 2 girls in addition to the cat which is out there. So if I have to choose my version, then it would definitely be the Xbox Series S. I would prefer to play this game on the Xbox Series S. Let me know which console would you actually like to play this on. Well, that's it for this video, folks. I'll see you in the next one. That's a wrap for this one. And until the next time, take care, stay safe, keep playing, folks. And may God bless you all.